Dr. Dave Janda, welcome back to our combined series of Operation Freedom Briefings and Dave versus the MSM. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for networking this information to all those you know and love. Because the more people we have educated, the more people we have empowered, and the sooner we end this reign of terror that's not an accident, that's not a coincidence, and it's not from incompetence, brought to us over a number of decades' time, not just the last 4 years, many decades' time, by the deep state, the globalist cult, the globalist syndicate, the New World Order crowd, the shadow government, the criminal international banking syndicate, all the same. And we're making headway. Oh, that's not hopium. That's the truth. And a big part, a big contributing part to our progress is you not going to the couch, not being silent, not covering your eyes, not covering your ears, but speaking to all those who might not even be willing to listen, but you've dropped those seeds of truth that have shown to grow over time in all these fields that didn't see so fertile, if you will. Those neighbors, those family members, those co-workers. Because the seeds of truth that you pointed them, and delivered to them, I should say, have sprouted and grown. And in the process, you've helped each and every one of those people, which has helped our constitutional republic, which has helped our world, and that is not an overstatement. In addition to the YouTube Rumble videos I do, we have DaveJanda.com. Now, it's new and improved, incredibly user-friendly, very up-to-date. The time and effort our IT team, led by Nick Ruiz, put into it is enormous. I encourage you to go there. A tremendous amount of free content. And again, you can listen to our radio show free every Sunday from 2 to 5 Eastern by hitting the Listen Live button and streaming it. The podcasts are part of our subscription service, as are the other 3 to 4 video format shows I do on content I cannot discuss on any social media platform or on the radio. 30 cents a day, $9 a month. It's a month-to-month sign-up. So it's not like you're locked in for a year or whatever. But we put you years ahead of the curve. Please go there. We have a short-form content on the site called Hot Takes. We have a Tale of the Tape section where I've talked about something and then years later it panned out. We have those sections on. We have our featured interviews, our best of interviews, and our subscription content and our archives. Join us. Today, I want to focus on something that actually our director of IT services, Nick Ruiz, brought up, it's 8-9 years ago on the radio. And Nick said, listen, and he's an IT guru, people don't realize how people in a big chunk, not all, a big chunk of people in Silicon Valley, they don't do the right-left thing. They only care about transparency and accountability. Yeah, they're the blue hairs, DEI, blah, blah, blah. But because people don't realize. And these people are getting fed up. As he was telling us 7, 8, 9 years ago. Well, here we are. And look at some of the people that have had some of the biggest effect on the freedom movement in a positive way. And that's what I call the DOGE-istas. President Trump aptly has called this the revolution of common sense. Common sense that's based on truth, facts, data, accountability, and transparency. The golden age of America that's based on truth, facts, data, transparency, and accountability. And we know that DOGE has been incredibly successful because of the histrionics, the psychobabble that's coming out of the puppets and the globalist cult themselves. They're crazed. They're crazed. And they're showing it for the entire world. I'm based in the People's Republic of Ann Arbor, and right outside that window, for the past month and a half, a number of folks out there were saying, I don't like to be associated with these people anymore. These people that say they're leftists, that you call globalists, that no, they tell me they've lost it. These DOGE folks are unearthing information, data, and using that to try to cut costs so that we all don't have to pay as much tax as we've been having to pay. And in fact, we're happy to pay taxes, but we want it used effectively, and it's not. And these people that are exposing this with DOGE and Musk, and they're getting grief for doing that. Yeah. And remember, I did a video, go back in the series here, called The Disruptors. The Disruptors. It was based on an article written by Elgato Mato from the Brownstone Institute. And in that article, his concluding sentence was, the swamp, this is before DOGE really hit town, the swamp is not even bringing a knife to a gunfight. They're bringing a dinosaur, the old management team, to a meteor strike, the new management team. And part of that is DOGE. DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, spearheaded by 20-year-old autists, as Wired put it. Well, it's more than that. Yeah, there's some 20-year-olds and 19-year-olds involved, prodigies, but there are also some older folks, and some really old folks, like maybe folks my age, that are kind of pointing the way, that have a history with the swamp, that know some of the underbelly and the weaknesses of the swamp. Yeah. Wired goes on, these young engineers are reportedly forcing high-level GSA employees on calls to, quote, go over the code they had written and justify their jobs. And go, imagine that, to be held accountable. Yeah. It's part of the golden age of America, right? The new golden age. Despite their limited experience, these individuals have been granted official A-suite level clearance. Imagine being a 30-year veteran bureaucrat, old management team, and being fired by a 17-year-old autistic engineer with a laptop, the new management team. I've told you about the new management team for years. Gave you the heads up what was coming. Many people denied me. Oh, that's crazy talk. New management team. Oh, here we are. And it's interesting because when you break down DOGE and their operation, it's actually devastatingly simple about the pattern that they're implementing. You name the department, they map the money flows, they deploy aligned personnel. Hey, folks, here's where we got to go. Here's where the money is. Here's where the problems are. They expose the networks of where all that money leads. And then they restructure the systems. Justin Murphy, an author, wrote the following. Elon is doing applied political science. He had a hypothesis, and then he bet on it. And he's being correct. We are learning empirically. The professional managerial class has perfected a system of moral blackmail through which they convert third world suffering into personal wealth and status. Think USAID. And as I've told you, got a lot of grief for this. I've told you for 14 and a half years on the radio that when you hear USAID, it's not about helping individuals, maybe a small percentage. It's a regime change operation. And always think when you hear USAID, think of the CIA. It was a front from the very beginning for the CIA. Got a lot of grief for that. Got a lot of blowback. I knew I was over the target because some of the blowback I was getting from were those in the CIA. Justin Murphy goes on. They position themselves as a noble humanitarian experts with PhDs who care deeply about things like global poverty to justify their own position or office that requires little or no work but provides a salary, expensive salary, extracted from the national purse. These credentialed do-gooders wield the threat of African deaths as a shield against any questioning of their privileges. We've long understood bourgeois professional hypocrisy in theory, but never before have we had such a complete empirical revelation of the exact dollar amounts, the networks, and individual names involved across the top of the professional managerial class hierarchy. Professional political sciences are generally feigning horror at Elon right now. But that's because they're all members of the professional managerial class that has ripped off American taxpayers for decades. Elon Musk went on to say, look, the folks that have, quote, been in charge, the globalist syndicate, they're hiding massive fraud and don't want their grift to end. This is how we know we're over the target. Everything DOGE does will be published for the world to see. Let the public judge for themselves. That's right. And those that squeal the loudest are those that have been ripping you and me and every American taxpayer off for years, decades, eons. Good example. Bill Kristol. Oh, Dave, don't talk about him. He's a conservative. No, he's not. He's a globalist hack who's a scum and always has been. I had one interaction with that guy years ago. I had to take a shower afterwards because I just felt so slimy being around that scumbag. Bill Kristol admits the quiet part out loud. Globalist. Those that scream the loudest. Quote, here's what he said, quote, the deep state is far preferable to the Trump state, end quote. From Steve Watson. Trump-obsessed neocon globalist Bill Kristol fired off a tweet declaring that he'd rather see the deep state running America than President Trump. By the way, this is the same guy, Bill Kristol, who for many years denied the existence of the deep state and demonized people like me for even talking about it. It seems Kristol, this is Steve Watson again, it seems Kristol would rather have a corrupt globalist shadow organization running the show than Trump because his pockets are in danger of being de-lined. Now, why would Steve Watson say that? Well, how about this? Because of the DOGE folks and their focus on truth and facts and data and accountability and transparency, unearthed that Kristol is the president of an organization defending democracy. Just so happens, circuitously, USAID, CIA, the USAID, and the front organization for the CIA, donated to the Rockefeller, oh, there's that other globalist name, hierarchy globalist family name, the Rockefeller Philanthropy Advisors, who in turn donated to good old Billy Kristol. And now you know why he's upset. Because his money train, his grift, just got sucked down a black hole. And this stuff. Oh, well, they were in computer systems and, well, they were getting personal information. The same people that are voicing that concern, and there's no evidence that that has occurred, by the way. And Musk has stated, we didn't take anybody's Social Security number. We didn't look at it. We were looking at big picture stuff, of budgets, of money flows. These same people that are now saying about, oh, so we're so concerned about security. These globalists in Congress didn't seem to mind. Remember in December of 2024 when Biden was president, when China accessed every workstation in the Treasury Department, as well as the Treasury Secretary's Janet Yellen. You didn't hear a peep out of them on that. So a couple months later, they're freaking out that Trump's appointees are accessing the very same computers. And these same people, these globalist shills in Congress, are demanding violence in the streets, something that you and I would never support. In fact, we've gone out of our way to speak about being peaceful. But not the globalists. And you hear people say, well, they're doing stuff, but they're really not getting any results. Really? I mean, just look back a couple weeks ago. It was on a Monday morning. Elon, through DOGE, identified that $59 million was spent by FEMA on illegals at high-priced New York City hotels to house them while veterans are sleeping in the streets. American citizens are sleeping in the streets. What we got? We got 7 million Americans sleeping in their cars because of Bidenomics? Yeah. They spend $59. You got people sleeping in tents in North Carolina months after a hurricane event. You have people devastated. Their homes in California with fires, sleeping in campers and tents. And President Trump on January 20th put out executive order, no more of this money. Well, FEMA decided, we're going to slide it through. Well, DOGE caught it. So don't give me this stuff. Well, they're not really getting any results. Stop. Trump administration fires FEMA's chief financial officer and 3 other employees after agency spent $59 million on luxury hotels for illegals in New York City. From Cullen Leinberger, accountability has come for the FEMA employees responsible for spending almost $60 billion to house illegal aliens in New York City. Elon Musk revealed that FEMA sent $59 million just 3 weeks ago, and over the last couple weeks, to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal migrants. According to Musk, sending this money to these high-end hotels violated the law and interfered with President Trump's executive order. He also vowed to recoup the funds for the taxpayers. Imagine that, holding people accountable. Transparency. Yeah. Welcome to the new golden age of America. Welcome to the revolution of common sense. Right? Now, the Washington Examiner's Anna Giartelli has revealed that 4 employees have been terminated by DHS because of the findings of the DOGE crew and the documentation. These 4 workers have been referred to as, quote, deep state activists, end quote, who went rogue to make the payments. So what are they resorting to? What are they resorting to stop? Well, slow walking nominations, mobilizing their compromise controlled, bought and paid for federal judges, right? Well, we're going to put a temporary restraining order on. Excuse me. There's a document called the Constitution. And in that document, there's this Article 2 about the executive branch having power, the president having power to do things. Since when, it's called, separation of powers. Since when, constitutionally, can the judicial branch take over the executive branch and their operations? Right, never, according to the Constitution. Now, this is one of the reasons why they want to get rid of the Constitution, right? So when they're not slow-walking nominations, like they did with RFK and Tulsi and a number of others, when they're not doing that, they mobilize their bought and paid for, compromise controlled, I'll be kind, puppets in the judiciary to try unforceable, unconstitutional motions. And then when that's fallen apart, what have they resorted to? We're just going to shut down the government. These are the same people who said, if you shut down the government, remember, that's going to destroy the country. No, they shut down the government. Shut it down. Let's see what happens. This is what they're really afraid of, those in government. They're saying that, but be careful what you wish for, because one of the big problems, if they shut down the government, is people go, the government shut down. Do you notice a difference? No, I think things are running fine. Probably don't need 95% of this, right? But that's their threat. So they got bent out of shape when that CIA front operation, USAID, got taken down and put in the State Department. And Marco Rubio, who we got to keep everybody's feet to the fire, but so far he's been okay. actually surprised me a bit. No, actually a lot. The USAID had 14,000 in their workforce. Rubio came in, and with the help of the DOGE folks, they found 294 people that were doing their job. And they kept their job. And everybody else? So don't give me this stuff that we're not seeing action out of these things. President Trump has now given a green light to DOGE to review the spending. Can you imagine what's going to happen here? The Pentagon, the Department of Education, the FBI, the CIA. Oh, yeah. This is good. This is all good. And with the help of DOGE and WikiLeaks, they determined that this front group for the CIA, USAID, it actually funneled hundreds of millions of dollars every year into what I've always called the bought-off lamestream fake media. Oh, I've gotten so much grief over the past 14 years. Why do you call that's being mean to the mainstream media? No. This confirms, through WikiLeaks and what DOGE found out, that they're bought and paid for to the tune of $500 million a year minimum that we're even aware of. They're bought off. Bought off, lame stream. They are lame. Fake, yep, propaganda. Not facts, not truth, not data. No. Bought off, lame stream, fake media. And I was telling you this 14 and a half years ago. Starting on the radio. Those who know me, 30 years ago. No, folks. DOGE-istas Rule. Why? Because as I mentioned at the outset, their actions are all based on data, facts, truth, accountability, and transparency. Welcome to the revolution of common sense. Welcome to the golden age of America. I thank you for joining me today. We are available 24/7 at DaveJanda.com, the new and improved DaveJanda.com. Check it out. You will not be sorry. But I guarantee you one thing. You will be educated and you will be empowered every time you go there. Become a member of our Freedom family. 30 cents a day, $9 a month. Sign up for a month. If you don't like it, get rid of it, but you won't. Because once you get exposed to what we do over there, you'll realize it is priceless. And that it's something that you need every day. Truth. I thank you for joining me today. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off. Dream big and dare to fail. Thanks for your time.